answer. Well, now you're not here to control my life. Your precious shark is like a knife. Your time's been wasted. And my friend, I guess time will tell the answer. Well, now sister's in the best and she ain't got no shoes. I'm in the factory looking for the fuse. He's in the graveyard with him old tombstone blue. Got him by the neck. The things he do, he turns people into wrecks. Yeah, I really don't know what to do, my friend. I guess time will tell the answer. It said knock, knock, knock upon my door.
G'day friends, welcome back to Bush Rats. I'm young Lee. Today I've just headed down the river, a bit of a solo session. Just had my first cast out on the rod. Got a few worms sitting on the bottom, big sinker. The river's looking real full still, same story it has been for the last month or so. And today we're just going to do another little cooking episode. So I've brought a few ingredients out, a bit of wood. Just going to cut some of that up now, get the fire going. Fishing's been a little bit slow lately, so I went out last week. It wasn't even last week, it's probably the start of this week. Went out at the start of this week with the kayak. Spent like 2 hours paddling around, got onto a couple of small fish. And then as I was paddling back in to do the closing scene, had the GoPro going on a new mount on the side of my kayak, and the GoPro went overboard. So there was a whole episode there wasted, unfortunately. But I've got the backup GoPro here, that's what we're recording on right now. And other than that, we've just been doing a lot of firewood collecting at the moment. So I've just been taking out the old chainsaw. I've just ordered a new one as well, so I'm pretty excited about that. I might do a little episode coming up on the new chainsaw that I'm picking up, maybe I think it's this week or next week once it arrives. But enough chit chat, let's get the fire going. Yoo. Now, if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen the other day this Fisker. I've had this for about a year, and I went out wood collecting about a week ago. Loaded up the ute to the brim, full of wood, and I've driven off and I've left the old axe there leaning on the log that I was cutting. About 5 days later, I thought, fuck's me axe. So I've driven back out there, and they'd been doing burn-offs all week in there. It was black as, the log I've been cutting was black as, and found the old girl still leaning up on the log. It's a little bit blacker than before, but surprised it was still there actually. So gave her a clean, sharpened her up, oiled her back up. Still works treat. Welcome back to Young Lee's Kitchen. Just gotten out all the ingredients that we're going to need. Got the fire going, just waiting for the coals to break down a little bit. And today we're going to be making like a chicken parcel. It's going to be like a bit of chicken, stuffed with some things, wrapped in some things, in some alfoil with some things, on the coals. It's a nice simple one you can do out camping. Use one pan, probably don't really need a pan, but we're going to use a pan. But let's go through everything you're going to need right now. Alright, first thing you're going to need is some chicken titty. We're going to stuff that, cut it up, wrap it up, put it in some alfoil. Next up, streaky bacon. You can use any bacon, you can use prosciutto, you can use salami, whatever you want, but this is what we're going to be wrapping up the chicken with. Flavouring, we've got a bit of garlic, bit of salt, bit of pepper. You're going to need a little bit of oil for cooking it all in, bit of cheese. Can't go wrong with stuffing something with a bit of cheese. I've gone with brie, but you can go with camembert, anything you want really, as long as it melts. Also, a bit of asparagus, a couple of homegrown asparaguses here. These are out of the veggie patch. Also got some tomatoes here, out of the veggie patch. So the fishing's been a little bit slow, so I've been tending to my veggies a little bit. I'm going to run some clips now, what we've got underway in the veggies. But yeah, can't beat some fresh homegrown produce, out of the garden. Speaking of out of the garden, got some capsicums here, also not out of the garden. Red one, yellow one, should be nice and tasty. And last but not least, a bit of alfoil to wrap it all in. Gone with the non-stick. This should work well. Right, let's put this thing together, eh? Right, so first thing you're going to want to do, get your chicken out. Now I've gone with some chicken titty. You can use your thigh and just roll it, but today we're going to use the titty. I'm going to just stab a hole through it, start stuffing. Let's make it happen. Knife goes into the fat bit there. Slowly open it up. Doesn't matter too much if your knife goes through. That's nice and deep. Got a nice little hole. Right, as far as stuffing goes, I'm going to use up this asparagus. So it's going in the chicken, so I'm not worried too much about the board. Cut up a few bits, that ought to do it. Give me knife a bit of a wipe here. And I'm going to put some of this brie in there as well. Let's get stuffing. Just going to cut some little strips of this cheese here. Maybe one, maybe two. Make a little bin pile here. Right, let's open up your chicken. Two. I'll go a third piece. Nicely done. Bit of cheese. Jam him in there. Cheese is all going to melt up anyway. Run through the whole lot. Next up, bit of bacon. So I'm going to lay out one bit of bacon right there. Two bits. Pop your titty on it. I'm going to roll that up. Try and keep it nice and tight. Once it starts cooking, it'll start binding together. Otherwise, you can do what I've done. I've gone and got some skewers as well, so I'm just going to stab a few of them in, try and keep it all together. Right, once you've got your bacon all wrapped on, I'm going to grab a bunch of these skewers. Probably won't use all these, but find your joins. I'm just going to go right through the whole thing. One. Try and get it to pin your bacon down. Flip him over. Try and zigzag this piece through. Now all these skewers, just kind of remember where they are because we're going to pull them out at the end. Kind of like that. I think that should do it. We'll get a pan on, get that heating up, and I'll show you what we're going to put in the alfoil as well. Weather's warming up a bit, so I've just put a little bit more wood on the fire there. Just waiting for that to go. I've got my little stand ready to go, about to put the pan on to heat that up. We've got the chicken wrapped, stuffed, a few skewers in there to hold it all together. We're going to pre-cook that in a pan, sear up the bacon, get it nice and crispy looking. And in the meantime, we're going to organise what we're going to put in our alfoil. So I think in the alfoil we're going to put a bit of capsicum, a bit of tomato, make a bit of a bed, a bit of oil, a bit of garlic. Chicken it, wrap it up, you'll see in a minute. Let's start cutting. Right, so there we're going to cut up a little bit of capsicum, a little yellow piece like that, a bit of a red piece like that. I think one tomato ought to do it too. I'm just going to cut that into nice little strips. That should be enough for the chicken to sit on. As far as the tomato goes, halve him, quarter. I'm just going to take out the real juicy bits and I'm just going to strip that up. Same sort of size as the capsicum. Just like that. There's plenty for the chicken to sit on. Get yourself a nice piece of alfoil. Don't be stingy with the alfoil. I think it goes that way. Pop your veggies on, just like that. Now I'm going to pop A little bit of garlic in there, might be garlic. That's plenty. Drizzle the oil. Bit of salt. Bit of pepper. Alright, so that's what we're looking for here. A nice little bed for the chicken to sit on there. Wrap it up with the alfoil that's going in the coals a little bit later. In the meantime, we're going to pop this in a pan, sear it up. Fire's just about ready, pop a pan on it. Pop a little bit of oil in there. Roll that around. Alright, pan's nice and hot now. Let's pop this chicken titty in there. Lost my chopping board. Just going to give that about 5 to 10 minutes each side. Flip it over. Get it nice and crispy. And it's gone straight in the alfoil. Sitting up there. We're going to pull this down, spread the coals, and we're going to pop in the coals. You'll see. It's going to be a tasty treat. Alright, it's been on for a good fiver. Let's give this thing a flip, eh? Got the old spatch here. Not looking too bad at all. Nice bit of crisp on it. I've been battling the wind here with this, so it's been on for, I'd probably say about a good 8 minutes or so. Getting there, nicely. Check it another 5. Alright, let's give this a little flip-de-doo. Look at that. It's looking real good. Nice and crispy. Cheese has just started to melt now. We're going to pop this off now. We're going to take it over here, wrap it up in the alfoil, spread these coals, let's get it underway. Alright, here she is. Wrecking it a bit. I'm just going to pop it on that little bed of veg there. Pull all my skewers out. Look at that. That's what we've got going on at the moment. So I'm just going to give that a wrap. Back up there. Tuck all your veggies in. That way. Over that way. Give it another coating, I reckon. Alright, so that's what we're running with. Got the coals just going down here. Here's my little spatulas. Give that a clean. You don't want too many coals, you don't want too many flames roaring. You just want to treat it like an oven, so around 200, 220. That feels about 220, and we'll pop that in there. We're going to check back on that in about 10, 15, 20 minutes. See how it goes. Just having a bit of a clean up while we wait. I reckon that's got another 5 to go. No luck on the bell so far. Fishing haven't even had a bite yet. So lately the fishing's been absolutely terrible. About this time last year we were killing it, catching stonkers out of the river, out of the dams. The water levels are real high at the moment. So one of the local dams here is sitting at 100% full. So that's running back out into the river, and the other one's sitting at about 90, which hasn't been that full in about 10 years I think it is. So if you're here for the fishing, keep hanging out. We're out there all the time, still trying, bobbing, lifting worms, flicking around lures. We just haven't been getting onto any at the moment. But in the meantime, hang 5. We'll be eating in a minute. Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes. This thing's looking pretty good here. Let's get into it. Could be jumping the gun a little bit here, but I think 15-20 minutes was plenty. The coals are still super hot. One layer down. Nice. Check that out. Going to get a plate out, cut this thing open, have a look at what she looks like. Big trusty plate, a mess here. It's alright. Get this thing into the fucking chopping board. Some of these veggies on the plate. Spot on, check that out. Nicely melted. Chicken looks nice and moist. Veggies are looking good. I'm going to cut this thing up, plate it up, make it presentation, thumbnail worthy. Check back in within a second. There we go, guys. Nicely done. Nice juicy chicken, stuffed with asparagus, cheese, on like a salsa sort of bed with tomato and capsicum, plenty of garlic, wrapped in bacon. Can't go wrong with bacon. But taste test now, see how she goes. Just need a chair here, it's almost sit down worthy. Chicken's nicely cooked, it's got a bit of bacon there. Let's try this salsa as well. The chicken's nice and juicy. Let's get a bit of this cheese here. A bit of cheese. Flies are out now. Bit of asparagus from the garden. Bit of capsicum. Plenty of bacon. That's one of my best cook ups so far. Look at that. Nice and simple. Bit of alfoil, one pan. Not too much fucking around. It's healthy for you. Plenty of protein on the gains. But there we have it, guys. Another little episode done and dusted, cooking up by the river. No fish, as it has been for the last month or so. If you want to see some fishing, we've got plenty of fishing episodes, plenty of cooking. But I'm going to finish this up, and we'll see you next time out on the tracks. Yo.